so it's week 3 in the Premier League, and very interesting games. Very interesting games coming up. Chelsea start off against Luton Town. Hopefully, Chelsea can get their first win of the season. And on Saturday, FC Bournemouth will take on Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal in a London derby will take on Fulham. Crystal Palace travel to Brentford. Everton will play at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Nottingham Forest will travel to Old Trafford as guests of Manchester United, while Brighton and Hove Albion will take on West Ham United. And on Sunday, Burnley and Aston Villa will do battle, while Sheffield United will host Manchester City. Can they get their season on the up? Yeah, Sheffield, they have a big customer coming to town. And the Newcastle United, high-flying Newcastle United, I like to call them, will be up against Liverpool that are still trying to sort their feet out. And we're going to be starting our conversation, our predictions and previews today with the Newcastle versus Liverpool game. Liverpool still trying to find their feet, their bearing. They sold a lot of players, especially a lot of their midfielders, and the start of the season hasn't been quite smooth for them. But they are guests to Newcastle United. First, Newcastle versus Liverpool. Can Newcastle put a big dent on Liverpool's start of the season?
Kally, I strongly believe they can, based on what I've seen in the last 2 games. Newcastle looks like a team that is already settled and running. Liverpool looks like a team that is still struggling to get their balance and get their exact team. Like you said, they sold a whole lot of their midfield, so you could see. And okay, this guy's red card has been rescinded. I wanted to say, and he will be absent. What's his name? The Argentine guy. So it's going to be interesting. But interestingly, let's go back to start. I like the rolling out facts. Liverpool has beaten Newcastle in the last 5 games in the Premiership. Newcastle has not seen one win in the last 5 matches up to 2021. So that's interesting. Even last season, with all Newcastle's prowess and the way they played, they were beaten twice, both home and away by Liverpool. So that gives you an idea that these 2 guys have a history. Even when you think, yeah, they have a history, and it's a funny history. So I went back and I looked at the last 5 matches, stretching back to 2021. I could see that they've only gotten 1 draw, which is Newcastle, and Liverpool beat them 4 times. And even the bookmaker for this match is giving Newcastle 44% to win. And I think Newcastle will win this. Like I said, they are settled. The players they bought, they're all flying. They're all playing well. The attack is so potent. They have a whole lot of options in the attack currently. Everybody comes in and wants to score. I see this match ending, Newcastle winning and winning well. I think it will end like 3-1.
3-1.
I hope you're getting our table ready.
Yes. I'm going to next week we're going to start the show with the table with the table. So you're predicting a 3-1 victory for Newcastle. All right, Eddie.
I think the question.
Sorry, Eddie. Before you go, now for our table, are you going to use specific score line or win? How are you going to do your table? Because you could get the win,
then right, you get bonus points. So if you get the results right,
okay,
you get 3 points. If you get the score line, you get a bonus point.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So okay, I think the question here in this game is whether Salah will be on the pitch or in Saudi Arabia by the time the game kicks off. Because the speculations that Saudi are in for Salah.
Crazy.
I think in all seriousness, right? I think there's a mentality thing in this game. Faith just roll out the stats, and I have not seen any evidence from Newcastle, especially with what they played against Man City, that they have yet been able to kind of take their good form against every other team, against the big teams. So I'm leaning towards a draw in this game, only because Newcastle are playing at home, and I think that they'll want to play well for their fans. But I just think that they have not yet had that win that gives them the confidence against a big team. So until they do that, I think that when they play against a big team, they alter their mindset. They also alter the way that they perform on the pitch. And that is not the same kind of free-flowing, uninhibited Newcastle that shows up on the pitch. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw for this game.
1-1 draw. I think Newcastle, they've looked very decent. They've looked like a side to pay attention to. I like the way they've started their season. They are free flowing. I love the look of Isak in that team. I love the way Joelinton plays in the middle of the park. You know how who would have thought several years ago when he was playing as their point man that moving him to midfield will be like a master stroke, and that's one of the things that has happened for the team that has really pushed them forward. They're a very balanced side, and I expect Isak to get on the score sheet. Like you talked about Mohamed Salah, where is his head right now? That's the big question that needs to be answered. But in all, I think I sincerely think Newcastle just have enough in their tank, and it's simply because of the way Liverpool's midfield is set up right now. They don't have those enforcers anymore, and they've not replaced them. And that was why they were trying to get Caicedo and Lavia at some point. They need to shore up that midfield again. And until then, I see a lot of teams that can play the ball through the middle. I see them really troubling them. And that's why I'm going to predict a narrow victory for Newcastle in this one. 2-1. I'm predicting for Newcastle United. All right, and we move on to the next one. Manchester United going up against Nottingham Forest. Manchester United, with their plenty of problems. Nottingham Forest got their first win against Sheffield United. Nottingham Forest, a very direct team. They just like to run at you. Or the Manchester United still try to play very fluid, passing football, but the personnel just don't sit right. So I'm going to start the prediction in this one. I think it's going to end in a draw. It's going to end in a score draw and high scoring one, maybe 2-2. United, Nottingham Forest, 2-2 in this one.
For me, Kally, I want to depend on their stats. I want to depend on what they've done over the years. Last season, United defeated them home and away, 2-0, 3-0 at Old Trafford. They also met in the EPL Cup last season, and United also the same scoreline, 2-0 at Old Trafford and 3-0 away. So that has been an overwhelming dominance last year. I think it will continue. Despite United's struggle, I think they'll see out the game. I think it will be a low-scoring win for United. I see this match ending like 1-0.
I'm gonna go the other way and 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. And
wow.
It may be seen like I'm trying to pile on Man United, but they've been playing awful. They've really been awful in the last couple of the 2 games that I've seen so far. I know that Nottingham Forest are a very stubborn team. And, I think, with Awoniyi back, leading their strike force, he seems like, he just equals Stan Collymore record, of 6 consecutive, games where he scores a goal. I think he's going to break that record and score 7 goals against United. I think the style of play of Nottingham Forest just fits, where Man United are. I think Awoniyi will bully those defenders, and he will get a chance or 2. And if Nottingham Forest gets a chance, and they score in the first 20 or so minutes, it's going to be a very long day for Manchester United, the way Manchester has been playing. So I'm going to give it an upset victory to Nottingham Forest, 1-0.
Interesting. Well, I actually won't be surprised if Nottingham wins, but I just think it's going to end in a draw just because it's at Old Trafford. They're going to find a way, as United always do at Old Trafford. Our final game for the weekend, the London Derby, Arsenal taking on Fulham. Eddie, let's start with you.
Arsenal against Fulham. Arsenal has got a very good record against London teams.
Too good.
It's almost
Too
impossible. And I don't go against Arsenal at the Emirates. I think this Fulham team is looking very different. They will be looking to play slightly different from when Mitrovic was in the game. I think that they still have players that Arsenal needs to be worried about. But I think in front of Arsenal's home crowd, back at the Emirates, where we are typically very, very strong. I don't want to disrespect Fulham. I'm going to go for a 2-0
It's okay.
win.
It's okay to disrespect them.
I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Arsenal in this game. I won't be surprised if it's more.
Okay. For me, Kally, if only Arteta can put us back to where we play, I can almost bet you, Kally.
I just knew this was coming.
I won't fight trouble, don't mind. For me, the stats says it all. We've beaten them black and blue since 2019. Fulham has not been, in fact, the last 5 games dating to 2019, we've won 4, drew 1 with them. So, and we've been beating them steadily 4-1, 3-0, 3-0, So it's been that way against Fulham, and I think it will continue. I don't see them stopping us. I just hope the strikers will take their chances. Like you said, we create a whole lot of chances, but we need to start putting those balls in the net. In Emirates, I see that happening also. I think this is also another 3-0 victory for us now.
I think Nketiah is going to score 2 goals tomorrow. I think Nketiah is scoring 2 goals.
Forget that one, another bonus, right?
No, but I really think Nketiah is going to score 2. He loves playing against defenders that allow him space to turn, and I think that's what's going to happen against the Fulham backline. They're in 5s and 6s or 6s and 7s, as they say, and I feel we're going to, of course, as usual, we're going to bust the game. We're going to enjoy a lot of possession. I just think we're going to be too much for them to handle. We've been too much for them to handle in the last few seasons, and it's going to continue. So I see Arsenal winning this one 4-0. Nketiah scoring 2. So if Nketiah scores 2, I'm getting extra bonus, Avi.
You say 4-0. I'm just looking at it. I'm thinking to myself, oh my!
It's possible.
I'm thinking Saka will score.
It's possible. It's really possible.
Nketiah will score 2.
My
boy is going to score 2.
Don't forget that Fulham has Willian. They have Adama Traore.
Who are they?
They will defend throughout.
But they are players that can hit on the break. They have pace.
They will defend throughout.
That's it.
Yeah,
they will defend. Nketiah will score 2 goals. Anything that wants to happen should happen. Let the heavens fall. Nketiah will score 2. My boy is going to score 2.